Hello everyone, Legend of Eon here, and I have for you guys, I guess, a deck tech. I literally made this deck today. What inspired me was my friend who plays Pauper. He's been talking about this deck called Pain Train, where you use a lot of the vehicles and crew mechanic from the block of Kaladesh. And so yeah. And I had my Affinity Pauper deck for a while, but I took it apart because I didn't like the fact that you kind of had to, it's like a hit or miss. Like if you had the combos, it worked. Where with the combos with a Tog, and I didn't like how you just kind of had to sacrifice a lot of those things and then fling your opponent with it. It's a nice combo. I'm not saying it's bad, but it's definitely not my style. You do have to commit a lot into that combo. So anyway, without further ado, this is my Pain Train Affinity Pain Train. I don't know. Okay, so we're gonna start off with the lands. We have a playset of Bloodfell Caves. Comes to play tapped, gain a life. We have 2 holdout settlements. You do tap a creature you control to add 1 color of any color to your mana pool, or you can tap it for colorless. We have a playset of Great Furnace, a playset of Vault Whispers, and only 3 Seat of Cyanide. And then for the other facts in our decks, we have 3 Springleaf Drums. We have 2 Aradara Express. Yeah, this card is really good. 5 mana for 8/6, has Menace, and a crew for 4. Pretty busted. I think this is one of the best vehicles in the deck, Renegade Freighter, because it's 3 mana, and pretty much when it attacks, it gets +1/+1, and gains Trample, so it's a Trampler for 5/4 Trampler in an only crew of 2. It's just pretty busted. This card is another card in the deck, is the Iron Thread Crusher. 4 mana for 6/6 and crew for 3. Pretty good. So the only other vehicles I'm not running is the Mobile Garrisons, simply because I don't think it's strong enough, and the Sky Skiffs, they're also not all that great. Like compared to these guys, they're not all that good. These guys really put the pressure on the board once you play them, and then you crew it, and then your opponent just goes, wow, that's a lot of damage. So yeah. And then for the blue spells that we have in the deck is the Thoughtcast, so we can draw more cards, and Anticipates. So I don't have Ponders or Preordains. I don't think they're really necessary, but I like the Anticipates a lot better because it's instant speed, and you get to put any of the 1 card that you look at the top 3, from the top 3 of your library, into your hand, and it replaces itself. I don't think it's a bad card. I just feel like it's not being loved. And then, Galvanic Blast, really awesome card, just to deal 2 damage to a creature or player. But if you have Metalcraft, you can deal 4 damage for 1 red. So if you have 3 or more artifacts, yeah. So sometimes people always forget that. Sometimes forget that you can do 4 damage to target player also. So it's really good. So it's not just a lightning. I mean, it's a better lightning bolt. And then for the creatures in the deck, we have Night Market Lookout, Reckless Fireweaver. Oh, so like this card, whenever it becomes tapped, so even if it's attacking or whatever, or when it crews a vehicle or whatever, use it for a Springleaf Drum or Holdout Settlement, it deals 1 damage to your opponent, and you gain a life. So yeah. Reckless Fireweaver, since pretty much half of our deck is like artifacts, it's gonna deal, like even these lands, you play these lands, it's gonna deal damage to your opponent. That's pretty busted. It's also really nice against really aggro decks because it has a nice body. Oh yeah. Look at that body. Just kidding. Anyway, it's a 1/3. It's really nice, I think. It's 2 mana, not too bad. This card is also really, I think this card is probably the strongest, not the strongest, but I think it's one of the best creatures because it's 3 mana, 3/2, can crew pretty much almost anything, and it's pretty good. And also, you know, when it deals damage, when it becomes tapped, sorry, it deals 1 damage to an opponent. Okay, sorry. I'm just speaking way too fast. Frogmite, so again, it's kind of like a mix of Affinity, Pain Train. Frogmite, 4 mana, Affinity for artifacts. So if you have 4 artifacts, you can pretty much play this for free. It's a 2/2. It's pretty basic because these guys are just 1/1s. So Frogmites is just really nice just to help push for the crew 3. And then Mirror Enforcer is probably the strongest creature in the deck because it's 4/4. It's a pretty big body. but it pretty much can crew any creature and has affinity for artifacts. So it's 7 mana, but later in the game, when you have like the lands that can count for the artifacts, and then your vehicles also count for the artifacts, just me Enforcer just becomes a super nice card. So yeah, I know I'm not running like the Goblin Medics because I just think that this card is just a lot better because Goblin Medic is a 1/1. Sure, it is able to deal 1 damage to target creature also, not just players, but I feel like at this point they're going to be using their creatures to block our humongous vehicles. And I'm also not running the Vampire Envoy. I think I maybe should, but it's 3 mana. 1/4, I think it has flying, and then you just gain a life. That's all it does when it taps. So it's not all that bad. The Servant Temerate, I'm also not running that. I actually don't kind of like it because it has to untap. So yeah, I don't know. So anyway, this is, I guess, my Pain Train Affinity Pain Train, I don't know, deck. So I saw like one deck tech for this, and it was like a green-red deck tech, and I was like, this doesn't seem all that cool. But I think it's a really interesting deck. Everyone will have their own opinion and how they would want to run the deck. For right now, this is what I have. So hopefully I can try to make this deck a little bit better. Let me know in the comments below what you think I can add to make the deck better or take out. And I don't have a sideboard just yet. So yeah, anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, bye!